everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. I know I am. The weather here is amazing in sunny southern Spain, Marbella. I can actually see Africa from our terrace. It's so clear today. Absolutely gorgeous. I got done playing tennis. I'm in my tennis polo, having a good time. I hope you guys are enjoying, touching some grass, doing some festive Halloween stuff. And as promised, I just want to jump on here and give you guys an update, daily updates in my 200 day to Bitcoin halving countdown. So smash the like button, hit subscribe, and tick that notification bell because I will be giving you a lot of time sensitive alerts as we move closer to the Bitcoin halving and as we move into phase 2 of the bull run. I'm your host for today, Megan Nilsson, aka Crypto Megan, and let's dive right into it. Welcome to Sunday's strategy session, and today we're going to be looking at a lot of charts just to give you a perspective of where we're at long term. One of those is going to be the DXY, which is the US dollar compared to a basket of other fiat currencies, and that is strongly correlated to bull runs in the past. So we're going to see just exactly where we are on that chart. Although I do believe that we're coming into a period where Bitcoin could shock everyone and do a very quick rise to up to $45,000 and possibly even $50,000, I'm going to tell you today just exactly why I don't even really care about that. What I care about is not timing the market, but understanding where we're at compared to previous cycles. Because for me, timing the market is a very dangerous game, and a lot of people get burned that way, waiting for the magical numbers both to the upside and to the downside. So for me, it just gives me an idea of how much longer do I have to accumulate? At what point will I stop accumulating? When will I start to take profits? I'm already putting my strategy in place, and I'm hoping that this accumulation zone goes on for a little while longer. That's what you should be hoping too, if you haven't or you're not fully satisfied with your entire allocation yet. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to show you some incredible charts about why I think Bitcoin's next move could be $50,000 and just exactly where we are in those periods related to previous bull runs. You're going to like this, so stay tuned to the end because I'll also go over some of the altcoin charts as well, and let's dive right into it. Okay, so first off, this chart by Plan B, I always like to bring this up because I need you to keep the right perspective, to keep your head in the game. Where are we at long term? Because if you understand that, then you really aren't going to care about price fluctuations in between, in the meantime. So right now, we're in the dark blue area on this stock to flow chart. By Plan B, and that is the accumulation stage before we're heading into the bull market, which is signified by this light green here. So we've already been through the worst of the bear market. I truly believe that. I'll get to my base case scenario later, but now we're just heading into, we're in accumulation phase. We're heading into the bull run. It is baked into the Bitcoin halving code. We are going to have a supply shock. The Bitcoin rewards are getting cut in half, and that is a fact in April. But let's see just how previous cycles have played out. Also want to show you this chart, halving progress. I want to ingrain this in your brain, just what an opportunity we're at right now in this cycle. So here is the fourth halving over here. And as you can see in the previous halvings, in this halving, it was a little bit less, it was a little more fluid. Here we had the pandemic crash, and then we continued to rise and go sideways up until now. So what happened after the last halving? Well, here you have it. Up and to the right into the bull run. So keep this chart at the top of your mind because that's what we can look forward to. Okay, so I want to give you some special insiders charts. So this is from Crypto Revolution. I don't know if you guys watch the channel, but really good. Here, I have spent years in the crypto markets vetting people, watching things, watching interviews with founders, and there are very few people that I would recommend that have quality information in my list, and they are one of them. Crypto Revolution. He goes over charts daily, amazing charts. And so one of the things that they go over is that these double bottom scenarios were all over the last uptrend there. And this is the special chart from that same group, Crypto Revolution. And I really like to look at these long-term charts because then you don't get caught off guard. Then Bitcoin doesn't shoot to 50,000 and you're left wondering, why didn't I listen? Why didn't I get prepared? Why didn't I make moves when I could have? Because for me, a lot of people are coming up to me saying, I'm going to wait to buy this altcoin or that altcoin or Bitcoin or whatever until we have our crash. There is no guarantee here. And although we very may well retest our base, for me, I am not thinking about that. I'm thinking about the next 3 to 5 years. And it takes a lot of the stress out of the equation. If you have a dollar cost average strategy based on where we may be in this cycle compared to previous cycles, it makes things a lot simpler. And I'm going to show you just now why things are changing. So this is a chart here, 2014 to 17 bull run, and it shows you it's very similar to what we're seeing now in price action. So as you can see here, this is similar to this circle here, and then we had this ascending triangle and this long and drawn out bear market when we were down, and then suddenly we're starting to go up and to the right until suddenly we are right here. It's looking very similar, very similar. 35,000 is looking very similar to $550 back then. Wouldn't that have been nice? Well, here we are again, guys. Here we are again. And this is what happened after it broke out of this massive ascending triangle. It went on to do a killer rip to the upside. So the equivalent of $800 for us would be $48,000. And that is where that price comes from. This is the 2 extended fib level. So basically what it's saying is when we consolidated previously at the 618, what it went on to do in the fib extension was hit up to the 2 and then come back down. It retraced to its base from there and then skyrocketed on into the next bull run. So may we see a similar move to that now? Very, very highly possible. And here's Bitcoin, just like another perspective for you. So here we are in Q4 of 2020. Relatively quiet. This was the halving in May. And as you can see, similar down and to the right accumulation, just like we're experiencing now. We did have this flash crash due to the pandemic right before the halving. It was in March. And then we went on to have the halving in May with some sideways accumulation until Q4 of that year. So that would put us at the real run starting in Q4 of 2024 and then on into 2025. To experience the massive exponential gains of the bull run. So just based on what happened last cycle and in previous cycles, we can speculate that something similar may play out because they don't repeat, but they rhyme. Okay. And this is what I always like to go back to, my base case. Although I believe 50,000 might be the next move for Bitcoin, we may very well see at some point in this cycle it retesting its base. This is the Pi cycle base in this chart here from Crypto Crew University, another very quality channel. So shout out to them. But this base at $70,000 to $20,000 would be really bullish in my opinion, because we would be building a foundation on all of this confluence that we have in crypto at these price levels. So it wouldn't be out of the norm, to say the least. Do I want Bitcoin to go down? No, not necessarily. I would like to accumulate more, but this is what is possible. And if you think about it, it's not that far from where we are now compared to where we're headed. And so for me, I'm just sticking to my guns, dollar cost averaging. That being said, it's been a long and drawn out bear market. If you would have invested a year and a half ago, you would have had a really good price, but you would have had to wait 1.5 years through this brutal bear market that for some people who don't have a lot of patience probably would have capitulated and sold at a loss. So it's really, really important to get your head clear about what you want out of these markets. Are you a trader? Are you an investor? Do you want to trade the cycles? That's what I'm doing. That's what I believe is the best way to do this. But this is not financial advice. Of course, you have to find a strategy that fits you. So now we're going to go on to Eric Crown, another one of the channels I absolutely love. And we're going to see just why November may be one of the outliers in Bitcoin's history as the first, one of the only green Novembers that we will have, and why the rest of the coming year could be up and to the right, a green last quarter.
Only been 5 in Bitcoin's history. There's literally only been 5, so very, very few. Has seen some green Septembers. And when we've seen a green September, which there's only been 5 in Bitcoin's history, there's literally only been 5, so very, very few. The rest of Q4 has closed massively up. See a green September, right? That was September right here. It closed, marginally green, pretty damn boring month, but important nonetheless. We've seen a pretty explosive October, coming after that. And so putting this within context, it would imply that November probably going to be more likely to be a green month yet again. But the average one return was just under 200%. I think that would be kind of unlikely. I mean, that would mean that Bitcoin goes basically like a 200%, like a 3x from 27,000. Yeah, that would mean new all-time highs.
And next off, we have this chart just to illustrate a little bit better, a little more cleaned up. DXY may peak at the end of this trend based on time measurement. So this is not timing the market. This is different. This is figuring out where we're at in different points of time in the market using different tools and what we may expect by certain time frames. So another point of confluence, just indicating that things are different. Things are changing. So I bought here in February 2020, and the halving was in May 2020. And as you can see, it was a very long, drawn-out consolidation period. Nothing happened for a very long time. And then slowly into the halving, Cardano started to creep up. And as you can see, I mean, it was not just creeping up. I bought it around 4 to 5 cents here in August. So Q3, it's already climbing up to 11 cents. So that's a 2x and slowly moving sideways until 1 year later when it absolutely exploded up to $3 and ended up giving me a 62.5x return. So had I tried to time that, things may have not gone so well for me. I just want to stress this as much as I can so that you guys can maximize your opportunity in this up and coming bull run. Of course, do not risk more money than you're willing to lose because at the end of the day, it is risky. However, what I am doing and what works for my strategy is allocating now. I am accumulating now. I'm not waiting for a crash. And if a crash comes, then I'll have my strategy set for that too. You should always keep a little bit of dry powder on the side for those situations. But all in all, let's just try to stay level-headed and stick to what we know to be true about the previous cycles and just act and react based on what's happening in the charts and try to tune out the noise and the news, and you will win long-term that way. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you tomorrow.